Guys, holy fuck, we got the buff. We got the buff that we wanted this whole time. This is exactly what he needed. I'm so happy that they made this kind of change because look, I'll hold off on my thoughts first. Just get into it. So what they did is they essentially gave. I don't think this is even really a nerf on harmony recovery. It's just kind of neutral. Like they reduced the total amount that you get, but then they also reduced its fall off. So it's not as strong now if you're immediately weaving into combat. So if you're like directly behind a wall, like and this I am often using it when I'm like directly in combat behind a wall and I need to get that meditation health. So in that situation, like you'll take a hit the moment you jump out. And so that 150 full effective health is being used. But in most situations, this is actually a good change for Iron Fist players. Not a bad change, but it's kind of neutral anyways because yeah, it falls off less, but you also have less health. So I mean, I'm sure you can do a calculation and figure out, a chart, a graph of like the timings, and if you're diving from a wall run, is this better now because it lasts longer, or does it actually not last longer? Overall, I think it's probably pretty neutral. Oh, but these buffs that are next are so fucking good. Okay, so basically, they lowered the fixed damage of it from 10 to 9, but then they increased the percentage damage of the enemy's max health from 1.7 to 2.1. So I did the calculations. Really, what they did, the damage you do to a 250 HP target is exactly the same. But any target above that, you just do more damage. So on a 700 HP tank, a Groot, you go from 21.9 to 23.7. Fucking huge. That is what? 12%? Maybe 10%? Almost, yeah, about 10% more damage on a Groot, which I do think is pretty significant because if you look at like a Strange or Magneto, it's probably more like 7%, 8% more damage overall, which is very good considering I think Iron Fist before was like upper B, no, sorry, upper C, lower B, and so he didn't need a huge buff. I've been vocal about this up till now. I always said he needed a minor buff. Next, decrease the cooldown of his kick from 12 to 10 seconds. This is so fucking necessary. 12 seconds on his kick was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how they let his kick be 12 seconds, like on release, and it stayed that way up till now. 12 seconds on, and he doesn't, because like his meditate isn't really an ability, right? You're not using it as like it's just to heal you, and when you're brawling, you're not using it, so his actual like core mechanics, I'm so happy they lowered the cooldown because the actual function of his gameplay is you're using your kick to escape. Like if for whatever reason Iron Fist was an absolute tank and you weren't using it to escape, 12 seconds is fair because it is an execute. But it's not that powerful against tanks, which they're trying to make him be, because its actual execute damage on squishies is fantastic, but on tanks it's not that strong. And they want him to be a tank buster, clearly by these changes, which I am so happy about because now you still do want to dive. Like at the end of the day, this isn't a rework. It's a minor buff and it's a flat buff. It's not going to change the way you play him that much, but it's just going to make him better. Like you're not. I'm still going to play the way I always do, where you still want to do dive the back line if you think it'll work in that scenario. You want to take the high ground. You're still going to want to use your wall running to take a high ground, look for isolated targets. If there's none, maybe you just jump straight in the tank. Maybe if you feel there's no value jumping in the back line. But usually there is. You jump on the back line and just see what happens. You block, you go to the front, and now you're going to have so much more pressure on the front line. You're going to have maybe if it's a lower HP tank, maybe it'll be like 5%. If it's like, what, strange? Is there a tank that's 550 HP or something? Or are they all 600? I don't know. If it's a 600 tank, maybe not as good, but you're still going to have way more pressure on the front line, which is so nice. And I really think this harmony thing doesn't, like they say here, slight reduction to his survivability when first entering the battle. I mean, most Iron Fist players, at least me, you're not really this doesn't really do that much anyways when you're first entering the battle. Like, this is based, I don't even know why they did this. It kind of does nothing. Its overall net doesn't really do shit. So it's kind of just like, this doesn't need to be here. I don't even know what it's useless. But overall, I am so happy with these changes. This is what he needed. Now, guys, keep in mind, he is still only going to be played mostly by one tricks after this because he's just a niche character and he's always going to be a niche character. And I think that's what people need to know, right? He's always going to be a niche character because he's a melee character in a hero shooter. He's always going to be a niche character. Not everyone's going to want to play a auto thrusting melee character that, it's constantly high risk and you don't really utilize your extreme aim that you've maybe honed over the years trying to train. It just doesn't appeal to a lot of people. But for those of us that really love this character, this appeals to us so much. And so for those people, I think this character will always remain like what they enjoy. But it's just not going to ever be more than a niche character unless they made him overpowered, unless he became a meta character, unless he became as powerful as like a Bucky, to where he's sometimes getting banned, but not always. Then he would get played a lot. But for now, even with these changes, it's gonna add so much more breathing room for people to actually play Iron Fist, because now he's more viable. That's why I'm so happy about this. Like, there's no way he's just gonna make him overpowered. At most, it is 10% more damage, plus 2 seconds off the kick. Maybe, just maybe, those 2 seconds will contribute to an extra 1 to 2 kills per game at most. Same thing with this damage buff. So he's not going to be OP, but this damn well was needed, and I'm so happy to see it. It's going to make him so much more viable. I still think there's going to be the anti-Iron Fist stigma, because he's still not going to be great. But I do think these changes will bring, because previously I thought, okay, lower B, upper C. I think these changes will confidently bring him into middle B consistently, assuming you're using your bans right. Because that's what's important. If you don't ban properly, these changes aren't going to help you. If you don't ban Hela or Adam or Namor, none of them, these changes are not going to help you. You're going to go into a team that, God forbid, has all 3 of those and makes your life hell. Iron Fist still not playable into all those. And he's still not very effective into an Adam Warlock. It's still very difficult fighting Adam Warlock as an Iron Fist, even with these changes. But again, use your bans properly, and these changes will absolutely... They will really elevate your experience playing Iron Fist. I really do think so. Just make sure you use your bans properly. Always use your bans. And there's no excuse, because they lowered bans to gold. I saw the changes. They lowered bans to gold. So if you're not in diamond and you're watching this video, no excuse now. Okay, use your bans properly. But yeah, great changes, guys. Great changes. I'm so happy with it. So happy with it.